no choice but to try. I can't feel my legs. Guess we've got no choice but to try. I can't feel my legs.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9 in the NLT. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start by giving our praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaKadosh.
We are the brothers from the Prophets in Babylon camp down here in Tampa Bay, Florida. We want to give double honors to elders and apostles, a great millstone, who teach them well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. I'm the brother in the pot, and who I got to my right?
Ibar.
Brother Yaquab.
Con, and we basically going through the spirit, man. In this lesson, you've seen the video, all right, and you've seen, it's a anime called Dragon Ball Z. For the brothers that don't know, all right, but you have Vegeta and Goku, all right, and they were tired out, looked like they've been through the heat of battle, all right, and they had more a greater obstacle or more of a challenge to come, and they had to be there with each other, all right, to fight against that obstacle together, all right, and that's how we have to be in this truth and this knowledge and understanding,
Right.
So if you could bring that back real quick.
This is Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9. Two are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed.
So in this walk, man, we got a lot of things that afflict us, all right, whether it be your family or people of this world, mockers, scoffers, demons, all right, all different type of afflictions, that brothers go through, all right, but the Lord has blessed us with the brotherhood, brethren, so it's better to have brethren than to be by yourself,
Right.
because when you have a brother that's there, the scripture says, lay thy burdens upon one another, if a
Right.
brother can bring that out, I believe it's Galatians, but we all have our own burdens and we all catch our own hell, man, but we have a brotherhood, to exhort each other and be there for each other.
Yeah, the scripture says fight the good fight of faith, because it is a fight, it's just a fight, and that's why, we had, the video pulled up with Dragon Ball Z, because they was in a fight. They was in the heat of battle, just done, fought to the point of exhaustion, and then they had to fight some more, and you seen the enemy was innumerable, they came down, in numbers. Okay, but we have Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on our side. So though we fight these demons, we battle in this flesh, we in these chains of darkness, we in this wicked world, we have, the spirit that's with us, and as we, come together in unity, the true body, the brotherhood, it's a blessing that we have the body, it's a blessing that we have brothers, because the Lord is giving us help, and that's help, man. Okay, showing us that we are not alone in this. And this is why, as we in transit on the way to camp, it's always, I went into it in our class last night. It's a rejuvenating feeling when we get back around the body, when we're around the brotherhood, because you go your whole week around demons, at your job, your damn woman might be a demon, and it's a rejuvenating thing in the spirit. The spirit is rejuvenated once we're back around, like-minded brothers, okay?
I got that scripture.
Let me read some more of this. It says, if one person falls, the other can reach out and help, but someone who falls alone is in real trouble.
So if you fall alone without the brotherhood, that's why you shouldn't isolate yourself and go through certain things alone.
Right.
As I'm speaking to y'all, I'm speaking to myself as well. Because when you go through these things alone, you got demons attacking you. That's what they want. That's what Satan wants, for you to go through it alone, because they know that the battle is much harder by yourself than it is with the brethren.
Right.
So certain things that you may have to talk about and counsel about that you need brothers for.
That's right.
When you're going through that hell, all right, it may be, very challenging, you know, for lack of better words. It may be very challenging, all right, for even you to go through by yourself.
Right.
You know, you may think you're strong in the spirit, all right, that you can handle it, all right, but ultimately the Lord is bringing that affliction upon you so you can go to the brothers.
That's right.
You know?
And you know, them demons, they'll try to convince you that, you know, to feel a certain type of way about brothers, or brothers don't like you, or this, that, and the third, so that you don't go around brothers, so they can further, you know, conquer you.
Chastise you.
Yeah, and chastise you. And, you know, brothers, you know, we all complement each other, because where you might be strong at, another brother may be weak. Where he might be weak at, you might be strong. So if y'all go through something together, you know, y'all can bounce off of each other, you know, with you know, your weaknesses and your strengths. You know, so it's all through the spirit that, you know, it leads to the edification, the building, you know, and ultimately success.
And if I may add, like the brother just said, that's why our brothers come from different walks alike.
Right.
Different walks, and we all come alike in what? Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. So certain things that brothers went through in their walks and things in their life, y'all can build each other up on, man.
Right.
You know, a brother might have a bad habit with something, but a brother had already went through that and faced it, and the brother can give him that advice on how to get through it, man. That's why the scripture say, you know, iron sharpens the iron.
Mm-hmm.
You lift up your brother.
That's another good one. Grab that one too.
And also, can you grab the experience, build up patience, though? You know, because brothers go through, like the brother said, you know, we all go through our different experiences in life, all right? And the Lord may be trying to tell you to go to a certain brother or go to the brothers, you know, so you can be able to learn, all right, to grow in the spirit, you know, because every time you go around brothers and you know, you fellowship, there's a spirit boost, man. You know, we're boosting each other, we're growing with each other. As you've seen in the caption of the video, it says failure, because we understand that failure is not an option. You know, it's time to lock in, all right? Because there's
especially now.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially now. Now it's the time to lock in more than ever. This ain't the time to get weak, to get laxy daisy, to be going missing, be in that Batman spirit, that lone wolf spirit. No, this is a time to really, you know, absorb all the spiritual aspects of this walk and endure.
Yeah. Because these demons, they can, you know, plague your mind to the point where you don't even think you're getting plagued. You feel like, you know, ain't nothing wrong with what you're doing, all right? And you ultimately just going off, and these demons will make you think that, you know, you don't need to go to the brothers, all right? And now you're going through that and suffering that alone, all right? But
it says, but someone who falls alone is in real trouble. You in real trouble, because them demons going to really, you know, jump you. You know, these spirits that they know your weaknesses. They know you. You know, and they'll use all your weaknesses against you. You know, play upon your mind and make you lose sight. That's why you gotta have that tunnel vision on the kingdom. But it says, likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm.
So when there's two, you know, you can keep each other warm. All right, even in the you know, if let's say you're in the winter, all right, and it's pretty cold, all right, that your body heat can warm each other. All right, keep each other warm, and that's why it's better to be with two than one.
Right.
All right, but when you by yourself, you know, you're freezing, you're shivering. All right, you know, you're really cold. All right, and I just showed that's just an example. You know, it causes you to hyperventilate. Yeah,
and your body starts to break down. It says, but how can one be warm alone?
How can one be warm alone? How can you get that body heat, you know, or that warmth when you're alone, when you have nobody, when you don't have the brotherhood, you know? Because ultimately, without the brotherhood, you're alone. All right, you can have a woman, but you're still alone, man, because she doesn't have the same like mind as you. She can't comprehend what you're going through. You know, she can't give you, you know, or the Lord could use her to say spiritual advice, but she doesn't truly understand you. You know, as the brothers would truly understand you. You know, because brothers are, you know, we all going through this walk of fighting demons, man.
Well, she doesn't understand the assignment. She doesn't understand the mission, because she's a woman. You know, she has a whole different role. But you know, another brother, we all understand this walk. We all understand what we're a part of. Scripture says, "Be fully persuaded in your mind." It says, "A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer."
Yeah. So when a person is standing alone, you can be attacked. You can be defeated by multiple demons, man. All right. But when it's two of you, you know, y'all can stand back to back and fight the demons off together.
And conquer.
Ones that come, and conquer them. You know, the ones that try to come from behind your back. You know, the brother got your back. You know, and you got your front, man. You know, you brothers are, you know, are
watch
fighting
my
together.
six, as they say.
Yep.
You know, watch my six.
And I was gonna add that scripture you said watch my six. That Esau has a military term. It was like it's called brothers in arms, and we are brothers in arms in the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Right. It's a spiritual war.
It's a spiritual war, and your brothers in arms, they understand the assignment. They're with you in that battle. Okay, so they understand the condition of the battle. They understand the things that you may have to fight and go through, man. So this is why it's important to have a body in a brotherhood, man. Like the brother say, your woman not gonna understand, but your brother's gonna understand because they in that field with you, man.
Yeah, check this out. 3 are even better. For a triple branded cord is not easily broken.
Yeah. So the more the better. All right. You know, you got, you know, a triple branded cord. You know, like 3 cords. You know, they're together, and you can't easily just, you know, tear that cord and snap that cord in half. You know, you gotta use more manpower than that. All right. So when there's more brothers, you can't just easily, you know, break those brothers.
Yes, we've got no choice but to
That's
try.
why when brothers get around, like I said, you know, the demons, they can't get to you. All right, Satan can't get to you as easily. The scripture says, when 2 or more is gathered in my name, I am there in the midst.
Right.
All right. So the Lord is right there, protecting, you know, that assembly. All right, sitting in the midst of the assembly. You know, so the demons and the evil spirits, all right, they fear it. They're scared. They can't just easily just go in and, you know, and they will try it. All right. But that's when correction comes.
Hey, well,
you know?
we also have, guardian angels.
Exactly.
You know, scripture says when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am in the midst thereof. So the Lord, he has his angels around brothers, and, you know, the more brothers, the more angels.
Exactly.
Okay, so the less them demons are able to, you know, affect and afflict. But here's a comment from that video. It says, somebody said, nothing 2 people with the same mindset can achieve.
Yeah, and that's, scripture says, can 2 walk together unless they be agreed?
Somebody said, I can't feel my legs. I felt that.
Yeah, you know, because brothers will go through, you know, certain hell, bro, but you will still keep going because you have the brother next to you. For example, you know, it's the one of the brethren, you know, the brother in the gap, we used to, you know, hit the gym a lot. And we would be on the treadmill just running. All right, and my legs, or I might get tired, I might be like, ready, damn, I'm about to stop. But I'll look next to me and he's still going. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I gotta keep going then. And you get that boost. All right, so how much more in the spirit? You know, you may see a brother, you know, on fire in the spirit, bro. You see a brother praying, fasting, all different type of things. You go to that brother for advice, and you seek advice, and that brother exhort you through the spirit.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I remember I used to live with one of the brothers, and you know, we used to feed off of each other. So it'd be times where I'll come out of my room and I'll hear him and I doing a video.
Yep.
And that inspire me to go do a video,
Exactly.
or vice versa. He'll hear me doing a video and he'll go do a video. You know, so that's why it's a great thing to have, brothers.
Yep, a friendly spiritual competition, you know, because, you know, you see the next brother doing works and you're like, damn, you know, I got to get on my junk too. All right. And that's just ultimately the spirit, you know. And
let me grab this too. It says, somebody said the fact that Vegeta and Goku are rivals, but they can link up and cause damage is hella dope. And when you think about these characters, Vegeta and Goku, which they started off as enemies, rivals. Vegeta was trying to kill Goku, but ultimately because of Goku's spirit, his character, he was able to win Vegeta over. And when he had the upper hand, he didn't just kill Vegeta. He ultimately made him a friend. And now they fight together. But even Vegeta has a great character development because he was a villain. He was evil. And then he became, one of the so-called good guys. He became a part of, the program, and now they're able to work together, and they push and motivate each other. They spar to make each other stronger.
Yep.
Like you said, it's always that healthy competition.
Yep.
What
you call it? And you have fusion. When they do the fusion, they join together in one body. And that's how it is with us. We're all members in one body. We're fused together in one body, in the truth. All right? And we build off each other. We grow off each other. Whether it be, several brothers in the camp, 4 brothers, 10 brothers. Each and every one of those brothers, have a spiritual connection with each other. All right? And we all grow in that body. And that's the beautiful thing of a brotherhood. All right? Because it makes this walk a lot more easier, But when you're going through it by yourself, you know, the fight becomes a lot harder.
Hey, check out this comment. Somebody said, I'm Vegeta in my space. I was the one who never saw the light, and when I met my Goku, I betrayed him. Still my biggest regret in life.
Damn. Yeah, bro.
And that was a Jake that said that.
And you know, that's another thing. You know, you have brothers that will fall out of this truth.
Somebody else
betray
said,
the Lord.
you only fail when you lose faith.
Yeah, that's when you fail. It's when you lose the faith. When you lose, all right, the truth. All right, the belief in the truth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you have brothers that will fall out of the truth. All right, and that's betrayal to the Lord, because the Lord has called us His friends. You know, not only to the Lord, but the brethren as well. Brothers trusted you. Brothers, you know, hope best for you. Was there for you. You know. So to follow this truth is the ultimate disrespect to brothers. All right, and not only brothers, but to the Lord.
This is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
Yeah. So we sharpen each other, exhort each other. All right, allowing each other. You know, we meet up and fellowship and study. You know, ask questions and get questions answered to grow each other, bro, in the spirit. You know, not even just with scriptures and knowledge of the scriptures, but we grow within the spirit with each other. You know, with bonding with each other. All right, our bonding growth. You know, brothers' connection with each other grow. All right, and that just makes brothers. You know, because you gotta think about it, bro. Before this truth, you know, brothers were strangers. We didn't know each other. All right, but once brothers came to this truth and you gained that brotherhood, y'all, you know, you gain a true friendship, something that's not of this world.
That's
all
right.
And if I may add, and based off the video too that we opened up with, brothers became and grew more as a body through our tribulation, man. Through our tribulation in Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. That's also what brings us closer, man. Okay, and that's what keeps us having that faith that the Lord is going to deliver us out of this hell. Because we're constantly going through tribulation, but having your brother by your side, hey, it makes it a lot more easier, because now you have a brother that can fight off demons, and you can fight off some of your brother's demons, man. Like the brother just said, iron sharpeneth iron. All right, so you both build each other up. And I got a precept too, if you
Come on.
This is the book of Romans chapter 5 and verse 2. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in the hope and the glory of Yahweh. It says, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also. So we glory in our tribulations, man. All right, we glory because we understand that the Lord is dealing with us like as His sons, man. It says, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope.
Yeah,
all right,
so that tribulation, or okay,
I was about to say that tribulation, it worketh our patience, man. The things that we go through, we have to understand that we got to stay patient and firm in this truth, man. Stay patient and firm and wait on the Lord, man, because the Lord is our salvation. We're not getting out of here without faith, man. Okay, and through the tribulations, that's what brings faith. It brings more experience. It says, and patience experience, and experience hope. So through that patience, you're gaining more experience in this truth and in this walk. And through that experience, you're gaining more hope, man. You understanding that, hey, the Lord is going to get us out of here, man. And the scripture also say, with much knowledge comes more sorrow.
Now, we just went into that earlier. With much, I'll grab it. That was it on that?
Yeah.
It says Hebrews. Wait, you go ahead and grab that real quick. With much wisdom cometh much grief. It says Hebrews chapter 10 verse 22. Let us draw near with a true heart, in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience, and our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for He is faithful that promised. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not of forsaking the assembly of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, so much the more as you see the day approaching.
You know, so we're exhorting each other, uplifting each other. You know, more so much and more so when we see that day of evil approaching. All hell breaking loose. We getting closer to the end. You know, brothers going through different types of hell. Demons are leveling up and really chastising brothers. So that much more should we be around each other and building with each other. That much more, man, because we know that iniquity is abounding. All right, demons are abounding. This place is getting more and more wicked. It's getting more and more of of a challenge. All right. So knowing that we want to be around each other, building each other, and provoking each other into love, man.
Right. That's why when brothers do fellowship, you're not supposed to, oh no, I ain't coming, or I ain't trying. No, you supposed to be in the spirit of wanting to come. Now, if you can't come because of work or something, or something like that, then that's one thing. But ultimately, if you have time, if you're available, you should make it your business to be around the body, the brotherhood. If brothers are getting together, because there's growth in that, there's experience in that, there's lessons in that. This is why the Lord puts us amongst each other. Scripture says, and I'll grab it real quick too.
I'm going to add on to you really quick. It's a beautiful thing too as well, because you got to understand there's coming a day, or a time of Jacob's trouble. You might not be around brothers in that time, man. So you want to soak up as much knowledge and understanding through the spirit from being around brothers, man, because that you're going to have to exercise that in that day, man. You want all the experience that you can get.
It says, Matthew chapter 18. Chapter 19, again I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And that's Yahweh Shai speaking.
Man, that's Yahweh Shai, man. When we're all gathered, even especially at camp, and even now in this car, man, Yahweh Shai is here. All right, where the brothers are, man, the Lord is there.
Yeah. We got angels sitting on top of the vehicle as we were on our way to the campsite. That's why a car crash couldn't happen. This car ain't gonna wreck because you got the angels with us. The Lord is guiding us as we walking in this in this wretched world that we're in. The Lord has angels protecting us, watching over us. You're always being watched. You're always being guarded. This is why we're still here. We know of men that gave up the faith, lost hope, and they're not here anymore. They're in the spirit world because why? Hey, they gave up, but because we're enduring and believing, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is keeping us.
And the ones that fell out, if they're not in the spirit world, man, they're worse off than how they were when they came in. And you also have the angels. While we're in this trip, these angels are keeping our foot, keeping us safe. All right, they're doing their job protecting us. But when you fall out, you lose that hedge, man. So now you're liable for anything that happens to you, man. You can give up the faith and a straight bullet hit you, man. And that's ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai showing you that the body is most important. Okay, the brotherhood is what's most important, because where the brothers are, the brothers also have your best interest, man. That's why you're supposed to come to the body, for advice. You ask brothers, hey, do you think it's safe to do this, safe to do that? If a brother might give you advice and say, no, don't do this, don't do that. All right?
Right.
And that's where you get that spiritual love, that spiritual growth.
Right.
I have that Ecclesiastes you asked for.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
So when you grow in knowledge and you grow in wisdom, much grief and sorrow comes with it. All right, because you start to see this world for what it really is, the fake of this world, the demons, everything, bro. All right, so you just realizing all these different things, and you start to become numb to it, bro. All right, you ultimately just become numb and detached from this world because how much sorrow it brings you just to to think upon this. All right, so now the only thing that really brings you comfort is being around brothers and in this truth. All right, the only thing that makes you happy is this truth. That's the true happiness. That's the true comfort. That's the true peace, is when you're around brethren. All right, Scripture says, when your mind is stayed upon me, thou shalt have peace. All right, so our mind is constantly staying upon the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and brothers will have a peace of mind. All right, the rest of these niggas in the world, they don't have no peace of mind. They don't got any type of peace, bro. All right, so a lot of the the demons, they can't do nothing about those demons attacking them. That's disturbing them. They can't defeat those demons, all right, because they don't have the Lord with them, nor do they have a true brotherhood. A lot of Jake, once they get out of high school, they will have that one friend they was really close with throughout high school, but after graduation, you never see him again.
Branch off.
Y'all stop talking, because the only thing y'all had in common was y'all was in school together, all right, and y'all, probably in the same classroom or something, all right, and that's how y'all became close. But we became close through the scriptures, through the truth, all right? You know, and this truth is everlasting. You know, so is the brotherhoods and the brothers in this truth. You know, but I want to bring out 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, "Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful and be courteous."
All right. Yeah, we got to be on one mind, man, and show love to one another, man. And that's also showing who the Lord's disciples are on this earth. Because the Lord's disciples, they're going to love one another as if the Lord was on the scene. See, brothers don't have conditional love, man. We love brothers with the Lord on the scene if the Lord was on the earth, or you know, as we know the Lord is not here now. We love brothers the same, man. All right, so you got to have that love and that compassion and be on the same mind, or with brothers on one accord. So our brother said we have the 144% truth. All right, because it's one mind, one love, one song, one sound song.
Right, and that's why that individual in that comment, he said how he was the Vegeta in his space, and when he met his Goku, he betrayed him. You know, because you know everybody wants to, as they say, there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. All we got to do is play our role, man. It's all to the, you know, as in one mind to accomplish the same goal. So everybody can't be Goku, and everybody can't be Vegeta. You know, the Lord, you know, sets up, you know, a certain way about things. Whether you may be the Goku of the group, you may be the Vegeta of the group. You know, understanding the anime and you know how the characters, you know, coexist with each other. That's for a reason. But you can't try to be the Goku and the Vegeta. You can't be the Vegeta and the Goku. You know, so and that's what that individual, you know, which that guy is in the world somewhere. He don't know what the hell going on, but he was able to identify that and admit that. You know, he was the Vegeta in his space, and when he met his Goku, he betrayed him, and he said that's the biggest regret of his life. Because imagine what they could have accomplished together had they been able to work together, but because he didn't understand his spot, his position, his place, that was lost. And now that Goku went, that person who he said was his, he went and probably had to be another Vegeta, you know, so they can do the fusion, you know, and become stronger as one. You know, if notice when they do the fusion, or when they put those earrings on, they become one. You know, that's what this is all about, us becoming one. But you can't become one if Scripture says, can two walk together unless they be agreed? So we have to agree upon a common goal in order for us to work together. And if not, then there is no working together, you know? So that's important as well, you know, as we grow in this thing, understanding your place and your position and fulfilling your role. You can't try to fulfill the next man's role, because then you're not fulfilling your role. And then it's just confusion and, you know, chaos and a bunch of commotion. This is why you have it where it's a bunch of dysfunction amongst our people, because it's that crab in the barrel spirit. You know, you know, you're not supposed to be in competition, but there is a such thing as a healthy competition to help each other grow. You know,
and you'll have a lot of Jakes that will desire another man's position, that will desire things that they don't understand. And when they finally get that position, they can't handle it, man.
Right.
This is why we all got to play our role. Play the role in the portion that the Lord has assigned to you. That's how the ship is going to sail smoothly, man.
Right.
It's like it unto people on a rowboat. You can't focus on what the person in front is doing. You gotta row your paddle, man.
Right.
All right. Just like you can't focus on the next man. You gotta bear your cross, pick up your cross, man.
Right.
All right, and fight. Motivate the next brother. Hey, keep your cross up. Let's go. And that's how we're gonna succeed.
Right.
And I want to grab this. It says in Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8, "For by grace are ye saved through faith." And we're in grace right now, man. All right? Through this grace period, man, brothers are building up their faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And this is how we're going to be saved, man, through our faith and our works. And it says, "And that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh." So this is not of ourselves, man. This is ultimately a gift from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. The brotherhood, the body, the spiritual attributes that we gain, the love, man, of the body. This is not of ourselves. This is of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai through this grace, man. So this is why you got to play your role and trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Don't forsake the body. You know, be that Goku and Vegeta. You know, play your role so we all can succeed as one. And as you see in that video, they had to come together because they had a common enemy, man. And we all have a common enemy, Esau, Edom, and these heathens, man. All right.
That's all I got. Y'all got anything else?
That was good.
All right, go ahead and close it out.
You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. You know, I want to give double honors to elders and apostles, great millstone, teaching real well. Once again, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. We give our praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem,
Yahushai, Bahashem Kakudash.
Shalom, Akim.
Shalom. Call Yo Bashem Yahushai.